Hi guys, so I'm still on holiday and I pieced this video together. I think you're going to find this extremely interesting. Some quite shocking details in these video clips. Let's watch it together, guys.
Since Elvis Presley died, but the arguments about the manner of his death show no signs of abating. In fact, some people insist that he didn't die at all. Many books have been written claiming he died a bloated drug addict, but now we've a special report detailing his last hours with the people who were with him on that night. Our film also shows for the first time the granddaughter he didn't live to see. Steve Dunleavy reports.
So our job, guys, Team Elvis, we're here to defend Elvis Presley, and we're going to scrutinise everything that is said about Elvis by many people, and we are going to defend him together.
One night with you. Elvis the King, Priscilla the Queen Mother, and Lisa Marie Presley, the once rebel princess.
You know how moms are like. Bring home a new guy, they put their foot down. I put my foot down. Uh-oh.
And Priscilla did put her foot down, both in this Oldsmobile commercial and in real life.
Hi, and here's a bit of an insight into how well Priscilla Presley and her daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, actually got on.
I mean, they really fought like cats and dogs, mother and daughter though they were, because Priscilla saw her role as bringing Lisa Marie up safely and soundly and not losing her to booze or to drugs or to all of the many temptations.
And here on Defending Elvis Presley, we have very strong views on how Priscilla tried to control Lisa Marie Presley using Scientology. Did she chuck her into Scientology to try and control her? What do you think, guys?
Mike Walker is the showbiz columnist for the National Enquirer, who has tracked the Presley saga for 25 years, and this week reviewed exclusively a home video of the first time that Elvis's granddaughter, little Danielle, has ever been seen in moving living color. It was her second birthday party.
And here's a look into the private life of Lisa Marie Presley and Danny Keough when they were very young.
Happy birthday, dear Danielle. Happy birthday to you.
This little girl, Danielle, is his grandchild, his heritage, his legacy. I mean, that is the embodiment of Elvis Presley.
You are now getting a rare look at Elvis Presley's grandchild, a sweet little mite who, in her innocence, can't comprehend right now she inherited royalty.
And doesn't Riley Keough look so cute? Little did she know how important she would be one day. Her real name being Danielle. Let's keep watching.
Watching the videos of Elvis's grandchild, it struck me that Elvis would have been spinning in his grave at the kind of party it was.
Perhaps it's a party that you or I might have thrown, but not Elvis Presley.
I mean, Elvis would have rented Disneyland. I mean, that would be the kind of a party that Elvis would have wanted because, you know, this little girl, Danielle, is his grandchild.
Priscilla the Queen and Lisa Marie the Princess now have a new order in their life.
Lisa Marie Presley believes in Scientology, and she was very taken by the fact that when she went on a retreat with members of the church, she suddenly had an out-of-body experience.
Many of you may be surprised, even shocked to know that Lisa Marie Presley did go through a long period in her life where she actually loved Scientology. This really surprises us, but it is part of the story when it comes to Lisa Marie and her children.
Lisa Marie, her mother Priscilla, Lisa's husband Danny Keough, Danny's mother Janet Keough are reportedly committed to Scientology, a philosophy dedicated to a discipline of life. But what's that? It looks like Lisa Marie drinking what appears to be a beer.
And we as Elvis fans are very unhappy with Scientology. We see it as a controlling kind of cult, not a religion. Something that can do serious harm if you're out of your depth and you don't really know what you're doing.
It even shocked me because Lisa Marie has given up booze and drugs after that very difficult period that she went through as a teenager.
But Walker, the veteran Presley watcher, has other thoughts.
Veteran Presley watcher. What is that? I've never heard that term ever. Let's keep listening.
There was not a lot of affection there. We never saw Priscilla Presley holding her granddaughter or kissing her. And Elvis Presley would have looked at this party and would have said, hey, this ain't no party. Let's have a party. I see fleets of ponies. I see all kinds of clowns and jugglers brought in. It would have been Minnie Mouse. I mean, Elvis would have rented Disneyland. I mean, it was a very stark kind of a party.
What is this interviewer talking about? I have no idea what he's talking about. This is all about trying to make a very bland story into headline news to try and make the Presleys look bad. This is how I see it, guys.
Of greatness, a greatness too huge for a mere mortal to handle.
It was either Elvis or me, one of the two, were going to die because of it. And it happened to him.
And after watching many of the Stanley brothers' interviews and Dee Stanley's interviews, I really do not trust anything they say. They keep changing their stories and coming out with headline-grabbing information that, to me, it's just not true. This is why we are defending Elvis Presley, because we're fed up with the lies. Let's keep listening to Ginger Alden, a very young, beautiful-looking Ginger Alden.
He was getting up to go into the bathroom, turned around and gave a soft little wave to me.
The beautiful Ginger Alden, the woman who shared his bed with him on that terrible night, the last human being to see Elvis Aaron Presley alive.
Let's see what Ginger Alden has to say. This is really interesting.
One thing really stood out in my mind. I remember he said, "I'm not that street out there. You cut me, I bleed."
The blood that pumped through Elvis Presley's veins pumped not only through the veins of a generation, but through history and through legend.
There's no normal woman that can't get excited when he walks on. He's so dynamic.
The phenomena of Elvis Presley's life has surpassed the tragic circumstances of his death. The shrieking headlines about his drug abuse have faded from scandal, and now in this troubled time of youth has become an object lesson.
More here from one of the Stanley brothers.
The shock value is when Rock Hudson died of AIDS. You know, because Elvis died of prescribed drugs, all of a sudden, we could start saying, we got a drug problem now.
But before the problems, Elvis Presley was a textbook of Americana, the poor, straw-kicking kid who dared to dream.
Let's listen to lifelong friend George Klein talk about Elvis Presley.
He couldn't believe that it was happening. He thought it was a dream. We'd be driving up to Graceland. He would stop halfway up the drive and say, "Hey, GK, man, can you believe this is really happening?"
And we know that Elvis could not believe the level of fame he was getting around the world. He felt like it was a dream that he was going to wake up from.
George Klein was in Elvis's class at school, and they grew up together.
He said, "I just hope it's not a dream." And I said, "No, man, it's not a dream for sure."
He was a little boy dreamer who wanted other people's dreams to come true.
And I saw him give away as many as 10 Continentals from this very place right here.
He'd buy 10 Continentals and give them away?
10 Continentals and buy them for different employees, different friends, even sometimes complete strangers when they'd walk by.
But Ricky Stanley, the boy who lived because Elvis died, saw the dream heading toward a nightmare as his beloved Elvis sunk deeper and deeper into the morass of prescription drugs.
Elvis couldn't help himself, Steve. Elvis had a dependency upon prescribed drugs, and it's really, really sad.
I wish that when they talk about Elvis Presley's drug habit, his prescribed medication, I wish they would also describe how chronically unwell he was, how sick he was, how desperate he was. They tried to make him out to be a drug addict, almost like a street drug addict, on drugs like heroin and cocaine. That wasn't Elvis Presley. He was a seriously sick man that needed help, and his only way out was to take more and more prescribed medication to try and ease his pain, his discomfort. This man needed help, but they call him a drug addict. This is so unfair. Let's keep listening.
Even sadder was that Ricky was a hopeless drug addict himself, and the man responsible for delivering the drugs to Elvis Presley the night he died.
Why didn't I have enough guts to look at the man and say, "Hey man, you may fire me, you may never want to see me again, but I'm telling you, you're going to be a dead man if you keep living like this."
And we as Elvis fans, we really wish more and more people did try to help Elvis. I know that many did try. Now, would Elvis listen? I don't know. Elvis was a stubborn man. He was a proud man. So could anyone have made a difference other than his beautiful mother, Gladys? Let's keep listening.
For the first time, the last moments of Elvis Presley. Ginger Alden awakes at 2 p.m. that day to find Elvis was not laying by her side. She walks to the bathroom.
Elvis?
Frantically, she calls for help. Al Strada, one of the Memphis Mafia.
Elvis?
Joe Esposito, Elvis's road manager, tried to bring life back into Elvis.
Let's listen to what Joe Esposito has to say. I know you guys, Elvis fans, have very strong views about Joe Esposito. Let's listen together.
I ran upstairs, went into the bathroom, and I saw Elvis laying there on the floor. And naturally, I jumped down there real quick.
Joe went the extra mile. Joe tried everything. Pounding on his chest.
Come on, breathe.
Discoloration already set in.
Breathe. As soon as I felt him, I knew he was dead.
He'd been dead too long.
The night Elvis died, Ricky Stanley had lapsed into a drug-induced stupor. That morning, he left Graceland to have breakfast.
It was like a premonition or intuition. Something had happened. I walk in and one of the housekeepers is standing there, and I said, "What's going on? What's everybody doing just standing around here?" And I will never forget that lady looking at me, Steve, and said, "Don't you know, Elvis is dead." And the next person I see is a little 9-year-old precious blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl named Lisa Marie. And the only thing she can say is,
He's been dying in the bathroom before and he won't wake up.
Doesn't make what doctor you get here. I don't care. Just get a doctor here now.
there went my life. I walked through the house. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And then I see my dad, my stepfather, Bernie Presley,
boy,
and
gone.
Grandma, Elvis's grandmother, Dodger,
My son is gone.
was sitting there. She was crying. And I just sat down on the floor and cried with my daddy.
As if to defy the laws of nature, and as if to defy the fact that Elvis Presley was mortal, Dr. George Nikopoulos still tried to revive him in the ambulance and again in the hospital.
And the rest is history. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video clip that we've put together for Team Elvis whilst I'm on holiday in Mallorca. I find it a very touching video, one of my favorite. Lots of different clips, different points of view, different people in this interview that all describe their point of view and how they saw things through those tragic times. And also talking about beautiful Lisa Marie Presley as well. I just find the whole thing very emotional, very touching. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Signing out from Mallorca on my holiday. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks a lot, guys.